Good evening. This is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. The much-awaited, much-talked-about cabinet expansion finally happened today. There were 19 new ministers sworn in, 5 dropped and 1 promoted. And the portfolios have just come out. The big headline at this hour is that Smriti Irani has been dropped as the Union HRD Minister. She has been shifted to the Textiles Ministry, and the new HRD Minister is Prakash Javadekar, who was today elevated to cabinet rank and was earlier Environment Minister. We'll be bringing you the very latest as those names are coming out. I think we'll be joined by my colleague Rahul Srivastav. And we can go across to Rahul now. In fact, Rahul, that's quite a big change. Smriti Irani being moved out of the HRD portfolio. What are the other big changes? Smriti, of course, very politically significant.
Nidhi, what I can say that this cabinet expansion and the reshuffle, council expansion and the reshuffle as far as portfolios in the cabinet ministers is concerned, we can say have the stamp of Amit Shah on it. Top sources in the government have told me that there were issues because of which there was a delay in the list of portfolios being sent to the President House, and one of the stumbling blocks was the change in the portfolio in Smriti Irani's portfolio as far as from HRD to the Ministry of Textile. The reasons not known to us, but it was being talked about for the last 2 hours in the power circles in Delhi, that there will be a change, or there is likely to be a change as far as Smriti Irani's portfolio is concerned. Mr. Prakash Javadekar, inducted today as a cabinet minister, will be taking charge of the HRD ministry. Interestingly, the other change is one of the expected ones, that there is a change in the portfolio of Mr. Sadanand Gowda. Sadanand Gowda was a law minister, and there were charges against him that was one of the non-performing ministries. And the charge of law and justice has gone to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad was handling law and justice before the secondary shuffle when Prime Minister gave Sadanand Gowda the charge. The other, if you look at it, the other big change is that Mr. Arun Jaitley will not be handling the Information Broadcasting Ministry, as we had reported yesterday, that Prime Minister wants him free for focusing on key areas as far as the finance and economics of the country is concerned, given the kind of crisis the economy is facing. One broadly that's what I had said earlier, is that Mr. Amit Shah was the one who was backing the move that there should be a change in the portfolio of Smriti Irani, the HRD minister. What we are also told that yesterday evening, when Mr. Amit Shah went and met Mr. Krishna Gopal, the RSS pointsman for the BJP, one of the issues under discussion was Ms. Smriti Irani's portfolio. Top sources are indicating that eventually RSS was on the same page that there should be changes on these lines as far as the cabinet portfolio rejig is concerned. Eventually, if we look at it, it's not a major change, but in terms of one of the most high-profile ministers in the government, Smriti Irani, who was also being talked about as one of those probables who can lead BJP into the Uttar Pradesh campaign, has been divested of the HRD charge, and she has been given textile, which is considered a lightweight ministry. I spoke to some sources earlier in the day about the change.
Sorry, just to get a clarification from you, because we're just, looking at this list on email. Now, is it confirmed that Mr. Venkaiah Naidu is now going to be the INB minister, and Rajavardhan Rathore will continue as he has as MOS? Because there seemed to be a blank space here in the list that you mailed out. So, Venkaiah Naidu is the new INB minister, taking over from Arun Jaitley.
Nidhi, there is no clarity on it. We are trying to contact sources of the government, because the name number 5 in the list is Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. His 2 portfolios are listed. Parliamentary Affairs, of course, is not there. And then there is a vacant space, and there is a number 6. And Information Broadcasting has not been listed. One will have to wait for clarity. But yes, this was another of the items which was, there was a bit of a buzz that Mr. Venkaiah Naidu may be handed over the charge of Information and Broadcasting Ministry.
Now, this is very important, Rahul, and we've got Aarti Jairath and Sambit Patra with us as well. This political significance of Smriti Irani being moved out of HRD, because if you can take us through what's been happening in the last couple of years, Rahul, there has been one controversy after another with Smriti Irani and the HRD ministry. She's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And as you said yourself, there's also been buzz about her possibly playing a role in UP. What does this actually mean? I mean, the government then promoting someone like Mr. Javadekar, who did very well in the environment portfolio, and Smriti's exit?
Nidhi, there are two streams of thought right now. We'll have to get down to the bottom and identify which one was the reason. One, we can certainly say, is that Mr. Amit Shah was behind the move, that he wanted a change in the portfolio of Smriti Irani from the HRD portfolio to some other portfolio. Textile is a lightweight portfolio. One will have to wait and see that whether Smriti Irani has been given a lighter charge because of other reasons, because of displeasure from the RSS. Over the last few months, we have been hearing that the RSS, there were murmurs in the RSS over the fact that the RSS wanted certain of its pet agendas to be carried out, and there was a sense of resistance. It's not very easy for ministers to deliver on agendas coming from ideological mentors. Is it just that? Because there is a buzz also within the BJP and the Sangh circles, though there are opposition from several leaders in Uttar Pradesh, tall and junior, over the name of Smriti Irani as one of those leaders who can lead the BJP into the UP election. But yes, certainly Smriti Irani is one of the strongest names which has been emerging over the last few months as one of those who can take on the charge of UP, especially in case Priyanka Gandhi or one of the Gandhis plays a crucial role as far as the Congress electoral drive in Uttar Pradesh is concerned. There are certain elements which need to be worked out here. Is it just displeasure, or is there a political game plan? One thing which I can certainly say is that Mr. Amit Shah was the one who was the driving force in largely most of this exercise, and even in the change in portfolio as far as Smriti Irani is concerned.
All right, so Rahul, just stay with us because there's a lot to talk about here. Let me get a quick comment from Aarti first. So, apart from Smriti Irani, which is the big headline, you have, now we're still trying to get clarity on INB. It could be additional charge also for Venkaiah Naidu. Sadanand Gowda been moved to statistics from law. Jayant Sinha has also been moved out of the finance portfolio, and he's been given civil aviation, MG Akbar, MOS, MEA. These are pretty big changes. The reshuffle is actually a bigger headline today than the expansion.
Actually, Nidhi, you know, I did feel from the morning, given the kind of people who inducted in, most of them really non-entities, people we've never heard of, some of them first-time MPs with no really record of any kind of administrative expertise. So, you know, the thing was to really watch out for the change in portfolios, which happened very late in the evening. And it's interesting that it's taken all this time for the government to announce the change in portfolios, which I think indicates that there was a lot of toing and froing, a lot of discussion that went on before the announcement was made. Now, what does this mean? I think Rahul Srivastav has raised some very interesting questions about Smriti Irani's, you know, the change of Smriti Irani's portfolio. You know, and it's interesting that both the HRD ministers, you know, have been changed. Do you know, do you realize that? Because Smriti Irani is gone to textiles and the Minister of State has been dropped. So was there a problem with the way the HRD ministry was functioning? Is that why this has happened? Or is there a political role awaiting both of them, both Dr. Katheria and Smriti Irani, a political role for UP, which Amit Shah will unfurl in the next few weeks? I think we have to wait and see that.
All right, Sambit Patra, let me ask you for your first comment from the BJP there. Major changes. How would you first look at Smriti Irani being moved out of the HRD ministry, since all of you have so strongly batted for her in TV studios with one controversy and after another in the ministry throughout the past couple of years? What is the message that the Prime Minister has sent today?
No, first thing, as far as you saying that Smriti Irani had to bat through a number of controversy and we were defending her, it's absolutely wrong. She is one of the young, suave faces of Bharatiya Janata Party who has always stood the test of time and who has shown as to how, without the backing of any kind of political generations, I mean, she doesn't come from a very politically, she doesn't come from a well-to-do family, from an ordinary family. How she has travelled this far is absolutely applauding. We should applaud that. But as far as the present discussion is concerned, as far as the rejig is concerned, I would say I've been hearing Mr. Rahul Srivastava, I've been hearing you and Aarti Jarat as well. I would say this is speculation versus strategy. Speculation in the sense you all have been speculating number of things that maybe it is because of this, maybe it because of UP, and this strategy. Party may be doing this for a strategy. Why should I buy anything out of this? I would say HRD is as important as textile, or rather textile is as important as HRD.
No, but what is the
working in
strategy?
any ministry and proving the
What-
metal is what
if,
important.
If she was doing so fantastically well in the HRD ministry, which is a very crucial portfolio, Sambit, why was she moved out? Why was she moved out? Is there a sense in the government that the controversies and the headlines were adversely affecting the ministry and its work?
No, I would not say that. That's your speculation. I was just listening to most of your speculations on this. There were a number of speculations that you made, that probably this was the issue, probably that was the issue. I would say, well, strategy was also one of your speculation. Might be, keeping Uttar Pradesh in mind, this was a strategy. This is also one of your speculations. I would not speculate. I would refrain from any kind of speculation. This is the prerogative of the Prime Minister to expand the cabinet and to reshuffle the cabinet is the absolute prerogative of the Prime Minister. I would not comment on that. And as far as Smriti Irani's performance is concerned, she has always been an encouraging face of Bharatiya Janata Party, and which she will continue to be so.
Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress Party also joining us. Let me get the first opposition reaction to this, Abhishek Singhvi, because the criticism of the opposition on the cabinet expansion today was largely I think Aarti Jarat alluded to that there was unknown faces, there was no real shifting of people, portfolios, we didn't know what portfolios were going to be changed. But when you look at this reshuffle in the evening today, it's a very significant change that has happened, important ministries where we've seen people being moved around. And isn't that a good thing? That means there is accountability, and the Prime Minister's taken note of that.
Nidhi, I am handicapped in as much as this has happened almost in the middle of the programs I've been on. So I don't have a full list. I'm not fully aware of the changes, though I've heard some of them from you. But I want to make a few, and obviously it is always a prerogative of the Prime Minister to decide what portfolio you hold, what you don't hold. That's not the point at all, however, Nidhi. The real point is, I think, that the Prime Minister by omission has sent a clear message of endorsement and complicity, in that he has taken no action against the great eminence greases of Sadhvi Jyoti, Giriraj Singh, Sanjeev Balyan, Mahesh Sharma, the kind of antics, or for that matter Mr. V.K. Singh, the kind of antic statements, events these people have generated have led to eloquent silence earlier, and now was the time to send a message. There is even greater silence now. No punishment, no punitive action, nothing. Number two, this is clearly nothing to do with talent. All this leakages in the press about great talent and great search and all this performance based. It is nothing but a cabinet rejig by the party president Amit Shah, with UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat in mind in particular, and the declining graphs in particular in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, and a gearing up for the UP elections. That's very clear from the combination of the names, and I don't need to go through that. Third, I think it continues to be a cabinet or a group of ministers largely of anonymities, not a single person who can even look the Prime Minister in the eye. And that's the real point, Nidhi. It's an over-centralized approach which this Prime Minister has. He has made it a one-man show. The one-man show goes to the fact that
there may be a lot of people who've been inducted today who folks don't know or haven't been familiar with in the headlines. But it's interesting. Many of the new ministers who've taken oath today, Aarti Jarat and Shahid Siddiqui also joining us, they have a more than 90% attendance in Parliament. I mean, that tells you something about the kind of record that they have as far as their parliamentary work is concerned. Maybe it's not fair to judge them on their work now when they've only just taken oth. But let me ask Shahid Siddiqui.
I have not said a word.
No, you said on the issue of anonymity.
Individually about a person. I am saying none of these people matter in terms of giving a input of a contrary kind, standing up to the Prime Minister, looking him in the eye,
there have also been
because
major
this Prime
changes.
Minister functions on over-centralization.
Nidhi, can I just come in for 10 seconds?
Yeah, Sambit, quickly, I want to go to Shahid, yes.
No, with all due respect to what Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi has been saying, that none of these people matter because none of them can look eye to eye with the Prime Minister, I would say, please, with all due respect to Manmohan Singh, he could not even look eye to eye to Sonia Gandhi. Forget about the ministers. We had a Prime Minister for 10 years who never knew that the prerogative of the Prime Minister was to expand the cabinet. So please, for God's sake, don't reduce the Prime Minister's position to such diminution that you can say that none can look eye to Prime Minister. He's an ordinary chaiwala. Anyone can look eye to him and can advise him, can take advice from him. That is the difference between the Prime Minister then and the Prime Minister now.
Shahid Siddiqui, your first thoughts on this reshuffle?
No answer to
Shahid Siddiqui, on the reshuffle itself, Shahid, and Smriti Irani's being dropped from HRD.
I have missed the debate. I have missed the debate, so I exactly don't know what is the reshuffle. The only thing I know is that Mr. Javadekar has taken over from Smriti Irani. That is the only bit I could gather, and I think that's a very important change. But I feel that that change is with a view to UP elections, and Smriti Irani may be sent to Uttar Pradesh to lead the party there. So it's not because the Prime Minister thought that he was not doing the job properly. It's because of the political reasons. So whole reshuffle, whole expansion is with elections in mind, and it's a political expansion. It's not much to do with administrative reasons. So, and I think that's the prerogative of any political party or a Prime Minister. So, we shouldn't really complain that it's a political expansion and it's not about talent. Of course, politics is always paramount in this kind of expansions. This happened with UPA. This is happening now. But I think this is a very, very important move which has taken place today.
Well, the point is, Shahid, if I may say so, that okay, even if Smriti Irani was being moved out for a political role in Uttar Pradesh, she could have been given any other, and for want of a better word, high-profile ministry. She's been moved to textiles. What does that say? There's a message that is being sent out here.
No, I don't know what the message is. If the message was to be there, then it should have been with many other ministers. The agriculture ministers were not doing very well. As Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi mentioned, all these ministers who were speaking out of turn, all these ministers who were embarrassing Prime Minister Modi, all these ministers who were creating controversies, some of them should have been
that's right, they're still there.
But that has not happened. And therefore, just to think that because Smriti Irani, I think, was doing a good job for RSS and BJP.